Hello, everybody. It's going to be a bit of a, well, not really an Ensconce reacts, more of an Ensconce explains the situation because I'm pretty sure, I don't think there's been a community contributor video describing the flag gate situation, flags being removed from achievements. So, the question was asked recently by Maltese Knight over in the community contributor Discord, and there was a response that referenced some information that was kicked out earlier, I guess, but just kind of recapped the whole scene. So I figured, well, if nobody's going to make a video about it and everybody's asking about it, might as well make one and try to get the information out there. So, according to a developer in the community contributor Discord, the reason for all this to happen, the main reason was for the UI. Achievements served as a transport for signals when there were much less ways of obtaining them. So basically, as a way to get the signals to the players, they tacked them onto achievements. That was a way to get them out, so that's what they did. That's what they did a long time ago. However, now, when we have lots of different reliable sources of signals, we substituted rewards for achievements with a weekly combat mission chain and cleaned up the UI. So, later, there's a follow-up question to which he responds, because somebody's like, what part of the UI is cleaned up by this? The descriptions of each achievement were included on them as well. That's been corrected. And also, the other reason for the change was that they didn't remove the amount of flags obtained, they were transferred to another source. So, let's kind of talk about that. What the hell does that actually mean? So if we go into the game, before, if you looked at the achievements, if you hovered over one, you'd actually be able to see like that it would give you a reward attainable once every 24 hours. That's obviously being removed. And I think they actually redid the achievement interface a little while ago, potentially to add sub stuff, or maybe because they were altering the way that ranked achievements were calculated. I don't exactly know, but this is different than the way that it used to be just a few months ago. But one thing that was changed is if you go over into combat missions, some people have kind of noticed these popping up, but they didn't really notice why. I might be incorrect, although I don't think I played today, that these should be unlocked when you have an achievement. So if you find yourself getting any achievement at all, if you get a high caliber, if you get a dev strike, if you get a confederate, if you get something, then that unlocks these two mission chains, one of which where you get a resource container for 2500 base XP up to 3 times, and then you get a gift container. The other one, which is much more long haul, is 5000 base XP up to 5 times, which is 2500 or 25,000 base XP, and then 2 gift containers. Gift containers can give flags. They can give the special flags like Hydra and Basilisk and whatever. And I think some other stuff. I don't quite remember all the stuff that's in a gift container. But as long as over the course of a week you get at least 25,000 base XP, then you're getting 8 signal flag containers and 3 gift containers. So let's actually kind of talk about the way that it used to work and how it interacted with the game, because the first thing that I hear people say is, well, this means wargaming is just, they're stingy. They're doing it for money. They're doing it to screw people. They're doing it to hurt this. They're doing it yada yada. People tend to have a pretty pessimistic view when it comes to wargaming. But, you know, going into the CC Discord, there's a little bit of a conversation there. And ultimately, if you think of the player before, so if I log on and I play this game, I stream this game, you know, I might get 4 to 6 achievements within a 3-hour play session, which means I'm getting 40 to 60 flags in a day. And then the next day I log in and do the same. The next day I log in, I do the same. So if I have an average of 50 flags a day over the course of a 30-day month, that's literally 1,500 flags. That's a lot of flags in my back pocket, ready to use for any game I want to use. And suddenly, without the ability to earn flags through achievements, that's a lot less flags in my pocket. Well, maybe I'm going to get these, 8 containers or something every day? Once a week, rather. The 8 containers, you get maybe 10 flags, 15 flags, something like that. I don't actually know what comes in a flag container, because I don't think I've actually tried to get one in so long. I haven't paid attention. But if it's something like 10 to 15 flags, then that's 80 to 120 per week. So that's extrapolated out 320 to 480 a month, as opposed to 1,500 a month. that's a lot less. But Wargaming actually was able to kind of talk about that and say, what you're not understanding is, if Wargaming on aggregate across the 4 different nations, or the 4 different servers rather, is giving out, I'm gonna BS a number here, 500,000 flags. Well, if that 500,000 flags is being distributed against a large player base, as opposed to 500,000 flags being mostly contributed across this, but then also trickled out across others, as far as Wargaming is concerned, they're giving out 500,000 flags. They're still giving out the same amount of stuff. They're giving it to people in a different way, but they're still giving out the same amount of stuff. So in Wargaming's view, it's not that they're being stingy. It's not that they're holding things back from people. It's that they're just giving it out a different way. So that's basically the main reason for all this. But there was also a secondary reason as to why it happened, which I believe I read, but we can go into. Unfortunately, I tried to open the armory, but it just was not going to happen. So if we look at kind of the flags, how do you get these? Well, you can get them through the armory. You can get them for credits. You can get them for coal. Don't spend coal on flags. You can get them for research bureau points. Don't spend research bureau points on flags. You can get them for the little bundles that pop up, the little daily freebie thing that they do whenever they drop a new patch. You can, sometimes there are the tokens for whatever event. If you don't feel like spending on other stuff, you can buy some flags with it. They give them away in directives and whatnot. The point is, they reference the fact that, back in the days of yore, ever so many years ago, initially the flag concept being tied to achievements was they didn't have a vessel to get the flags from point A to point B. So they created one, and it stuck around potentially for years. I think many years, actually. But now that they realized they had so many ways of obtaining the stuff, well, we could tweak this, we could alter it, and ultimately that's what they did. And then that's pretty much going to explain, the concept of the change, what they did, why they did, etc. But I would like to kind of take a second to look at it in a different light. For me, a power user, I stream this stuff. I play it all the time. I play competitively. I play the game a lot. It's very easy for me to burn through flags because that's literally what I do. I don't think I ever play a battleship without a heal flag. I don't think I ever play a DD without a detonation flag. There's usually, if I'm playing a DD or a cruiser or a battleship, I probably am running all the flags. Whereas carriers, I don't think I run any because I'm trying to save credits. And I can afford to do that because I am a power user. And I tend to have just so much stuff lying around that I can afford to do that whenever the hell I want to. Whereas somebody who's more casual about the game, like my best friend's dad, he comes on, he plays like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 5, whatever. I think he's gotten up to a tier 9 and he's played for about 3 years now, maybe 4. He doesn't have that same kind of resources. So for somebody like me that's going to be getting achievements left, right, and center, just pulling in all this free stuff, it means that every time I walk into a battle, I can just throw this stuff on because I know I have tons of it. Or I know I have, the credits or whatever to buy more if I need to. I don't really have to think about it. Whereas these are really designed not to be an incredible huge buff that's going to be a game-altering, life-changing decision. They're supposed to be something that gives you a little boost in power when you're trying to do something special, be it it's a competitive moment, or you're looking for a directive, or you're divved with friends and you want to perform really well, or something. It's not supposed to be an always-on kind of thing. And yet, there are people that get so used to them being an always-on kind of thing that this change, introducing more scarcity to the market, so to speak, increases the value of the flags themselves. So when Wargaming does put, these basic flags in directives as a reward, or they stick them in a campaign mission, or they stick them in a little event or something they're doing, it actually increases the value of the reward they're getting out. Granted, they're the ones that are introducing scarcity into the market, but it's still worthwhile to look at the fact that these really aren't supposed to be 100% uptime kind of things. And I believe there are a lot of people that kind of lost sight of that. That's not to say that it wasn't fun. It's not to say that It wasn't nice to have crap loads of flags. Hell, I have over 1,000 of these. But anyway, I just wanted to get a video out there because so many people were having so many questions over this issue, and it was quite literally just that. They were updating the achievement UI, they realized, hey, we've got an opportunity to do something. They did the something, they added the mission, which is going to affect the larger population base on whole. They've tracked the numbers, charted the numbers, and found out they're giving away the same amount of stuff. It's just over a larger population base as to concentrating into a smaller one. And they're okay with that. So it's probably just going to be the way that it is, and I don't imagine they're going to change it back. Though it would be nice if they gave det flags for a detonation, because detonating sucks. Have a good one.